Hey everybody. So with a 5-4 shootout win last night over the Nashville Predators, the Winnipeg Jets have locked themselves into the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs. They have 102 points on the season. They're in second place in the Central Division, 5 points behind Nashville. I don't think they're going to catch Nashville for the division win, but still a very, very solid season for the Winnipeg Jets, who I really couldn't be happier for. Since going back to Winnipeg, obviously they were the Atlanta Thrashers, and then they moved to Winnipeg. The Jets have only made the playoffs once. It was in 2015, and they got swept out in the first round by Anaheim in a series that wasn't really much of a series. It was more of a beatdown. But and the Jets have had good players. They have had decent teams, but they have not been able to make the playoffs since then. And going into this year, I had them finishing 6th in the Central Division. I didn't think they were going to touch the playoffs. Thought they'd be one of the weaker teams in the Western Conference, because it seemed like every year something would go wrong and they just wouldn't be good enough. They always had talented players. It just seemed that every year something would go wrong. Either someone really important would get hurt, and that would ruin their season, or they'd get bad goaltending, and that would ruin their season, or they'd have lousy defense. The offense was always there. The skill was always there. But they finally put it together, and they're putting together a fantastic season in the regular season this year, and so they're locked in the playoffs. Most likely going to play Minnesota in the first round. There's a slight chance that could possibly change, but I don't see it happening. Minnesota's up by, I think, 4 points on, or 3 or 4 points on Colorado and St. Louis. I don't really think that Minnesota is going to get caught for that third spot in the Central, and I don't think Winnipeg is catching Nashville for the top spot. So Winnipeg seems pretty solid, locked into that second spot in the Central, meaning that their first round matchup will be against the third team in the Central, that 2-3 matchup, which will probably be Minnesota. So we'll see if they can carry this success over into the playoffs. Like I said, the last time and only time they were in the playoffs before this, it didn't go very well at all. But they are a much better team now than they were in 2015 when they made the playoffs that one time. This Jets team is much deeper, much better defensively, and much stronger in goal. They've really had their top players be their top players this year, and they've had strong contributions from the bottom 6 forwards, some of the 5, 6, 7th defensemen. Connor Hellebuck has had an incredible year in net. Things have just really come together well for them this year, and they've taken advantage of it. And they have 46 wins already, and they've still got a few games left. I believe 7 games left, so they can add to that. They certainly have a chance to get to 50 wins, and it'll be really cool if they do. But you look at their star players and who has led this team to where they are now. Blake Wheeler is the big-time point producer with 85 points this year. Patrick Laine is the big-time goal scorer. He's got 43 goals already this year. They've gotten solid contributions from Nikolai Ehlers with 56 points, Mark Scheifele with 56 points, and he missed a lot of time with injury. Scheifele, I think, would be up near that 80-point mark if he didn't miss so much time with injury this season. And rookie Kyle Connor has 50 points. He's been really, really good this year, a few overtime winners. He's been a huge addition to this team. So they've really gotten a lot of production from players that they needed to produce, and Bufflin's been really good on the back end. They've had a strong team defense overall, which has been an issue for them in the past. They've had this, high-scoring running gun offense for a few years now, but defense has been the issue, and they really tightened up defensively this year, and that's one of the main reasons they are where they are. Connor Hellebuck in goal has been just a revelation for this team. Goaltending's another issue, or another area where it's been an issue in the past, whether it was Michael Hutchinson, Andrei Pavelec, Hellebuck before this year. It hasn't been their best area, and then Hellebuck comes out this year. He has 39 wins already. His save percentage is .924, which is really unbelievable. He's very close to the top of the league in that, and his goals against is only 2.36. So he has been fantastic this year. He's played a lot of games. We'll see how that affects him in the playoffs, but he's been a huge, huge boost for this team. So, yeah, Winnipeg's in. They're locked in now, most likely to play Minnesota, and I am really excited to watch Winnipeg in the playoffs. That building, the MTS Center up in Winnipeg, is not a huge building. It only holds, I think, a little over 15,000. But that place was electric for the 2 games that they got against Anaheim in 2015. Even though Winnipeg didn't do well that series, their fans were absolutely electric. The building was rocking. It was a really fun atmosphere to see on TV, and it's one of those buildings, much like Nashville, where the atmosphere and the excitement and the energy in the building comes right through even on TV, and when you're watching at home you can feel part of what it's like to be there and just how incredible the crowd is. So I'm really excited to see them and to watch them in the playoffs. Hopefully they get more than 2 home games this year. I think they will, because I think they're definitely a better team than Minnesota. I think that will be a very good series, but I'm thinking Winnipeg in 6 or 7. And then after that, who knows? It will largely depend on who they have to play after that. If they get Nashville, then that might be season over. But they just beat Nashville, and they always seem to play really good close games with the Predators, so it's certainly not a guarantee that Nashville would beat Winnipeg in the playoffs. It's the NHL. It's really an anybody can beat anyone league, and there are usually at least a couple surprises in the playoffs. So good for Winnipeg, locked in. I'm really happy to see it, and I'm really excited to see them play in the playoffs and see what they can do. Now that they're in, it goes to a whole new level come playoff time, and we'll see how they make out. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Help spread the word about this channel. We want it to grow. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.